So today we're going to be looking at the basics of unwinding a joint. And we're going to start with a fairly simple joint, the ankle joint. Now the ankle is comprised of three bones. We've got the tibia, the fibula, and the talus down here at the foot. So what we're looking to do is to create more space and movement in this joint. Now how to do that is a little bit tricky. We can't exactly just pry the joint open with a very direct method. That's not going to work too well. We have to think a little bit outside the box. So we're going to use what's called an indirect method in order to get some space in this joint. And by indirect, it means instead of trying to pull out of a restriction, we're instead going to work into the restriction. Essentially, we're going to compress the bone together. And in doing so, what we're going to do is change fluid pressure within the joint itself. We're then going to use this fluid pressure to massage and open up the joint from the inside. Technique-wise, first thing to notice is my positioning and the positioning of the client. We want the foot just off the bed so that the ankle, the heel calcaneus here, hangs a little bit freely. For my positioning, I want to be as comfortable as possible, which means my legs are going to be slightly under the table and I'll be sitting in a nice comfortable posture where I'm not reaching with my arms. Instead, my arms are near my sides and very, very comfortable. To do the technique, I'm going to use both hands and I'm going to grasp gently but firmly the two sides of the bone, the two malleoli here, and I'm going to compress them together. I'm going to compress pretty firmly, and what I want to do is hold that compression. Now, you're going to meet sort of a point of resistance in the joint, and when you hit that point, you want to hold your pressure there or even slightly back off just a little bit. Now, as you're holding your pressure, you might start to feel the bones moving very, very subtly, and this is what you're looking for, a very subtle movement or dance, and you're simply going to hold your pressure and follow that dance. So it's going to look something like this, but even more subtle. And what we're going to do is unwind the ankle joint by compressing the malleoli together into the talus, and we're going to hold our pressure there. We're going to hit kind of a point of resistance in the joint, and that's where you want to hold your pressure or even slightly back off from there. So to do the technique, I'm going to come under the ankle, under the foot, and I'm going to use my palms here to compress the malleoli together. And it's a gentle but firm compression, and I'm just going to hold that compression there. After a while, what I want to feel is a subtle movement of the bones. They'll kind of start to dance or move on their own, and what you want to do is follow that movement. And as I'm doing this, I'm using fluid pressure within the joint to soften the joint capsule from within. And there it is. That's the technique.